You are now listening to Cryptid Cocktail Party. Creatures, let's meet for a drink. It's a treat. Join us in the fight. Cryptid Cocktail Party. Cryptid Cocktail Party.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host, Dave, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Sarge. How's it going, Sarge?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to see Pantera next weekend.
Oh, awesome. Make sure you take a bunch of videos of him giving Nazi salutes. That'd be a good time.
Yeah, all right, look, I'm not actually going to see Pantera. I'm going to see Amon Amarth. They just happen to be opening for Pantera.
All right, that's valid.
Still not a great look when you've done some Nazi salutes and you're going to have a Swedish band open for you.
Are you going to drive there or are you going to walk?
And we got a very special guest today. We're joined by the Dadmin himself, Wesley Pipes, a.k.a. Pipesbuffet. What's going on, man?
Hey, no, I'm going to see Clips next weekend. I'm extremely excited. Hey, kid, I threw my vape. Get it for me.
One of the benefits of having a child.
Oh, my God. Hold on
Exactly. They always get your vape for you.
Yeah.
Really...
I saw Ghost on Monday.
Oh, hell
On
yeah.
a Monday? Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I can't go. Dude.
Yeah, I was not happy about it either. And they played at the Garden, and you couldn't have your fucking phone on you. But they were stupid and had people there that would unlock your phone in designated areas. So I just went there, and they unlocked it for me. And because Ghost is really popular with like 12-year-olds, she was just inundated with children. So I just walked by her without locking my phone up again.
Whoa, so a show at a venue the size of the Garden, and they are able to pull off locking the phones?
Yeah, they
That's
make you put it in
crazy.
this stupid little baggie, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like to be told what to do, which is weird because I was in the military for a while.
But also,
so
you're a veteran, so that obviously,
Yeah.
I feel like that comes with the
So
territory.
I snuck in my vape, and I also did not allow them to lock up my phone permanently. They locked my phone. I went up the escalator, went to the phone area where they could unlock it. I unlocked my phone, took it out of the pouch, and then locked the pouch and put that in my pocket, and then put my phone in my other pocket.
Wait, so go...
It's like, fuck you guys. You can't tell me what to do. Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. I'm 43. I'm sorry, John.
Oh, I
I
was
cut
just
you
going to
off.
say,
Go
I
ahead,
didn't
man.
know you were in the military, so this is not stolen valor. I actually did kill a bunch of teenagers a few decades ago.
Oh, looks like we have something in common. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I didn't, I promise.
Well, there goes the algorithm fooling. This one's getting told.
So, Wesley, we've known each other for going on...
You can call me what you can call me Johnny. You can call me whatever. You can call me what you always call me. That's fine too. I don't care.
All right.
Man, many names just don't. No last names, no birth down, no social security numbers.
But we've known each other for what, going on 20, 25 years
I
now?
was just telling Sarge here that I used to buy you alcohol before you were of age.
Oh yeah, we used to slam Sparks underneath the stairs of the brick house.
Mad Dog
Sparks.
2020, dude. Like Wild
Orange-
Irish
Oh,
Rose.
Sparks.
Orange Jubilee though, best flavor, no other flavor.
Sparks was only out for like 6 months, wasn't it? Before people were like dying.
Yeah,
I vividly remember
It's awesome.
Sparks. It was the Four Loko of our generation.
It was great. I can actually still. The taste was like the most malt liquory like beverage taste I could.
I feel like it was like chewable Flintstones chewable vitamins.
Yeah, it kinda had that medicinal
liquid
taste to it.
tasted chewable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually chew it.
yeah.
It's kind of fucked up.
All right, John. So, quick question. We asked this to all our guests before we start the episode, but I've known you for a bit. You've always been into these kinds of like conspiracies, maybe not cryptids, but definitely aliens, that type of shit for a
Actually,
while, right?
I gotta rock. I'm actually rocking my Death Head Moth gauges for.
Hell yeah, brother.
In solidarity.
Nice.
So yeah, not so much the cryptids. I pretty much checked out on that when I saw Mothman Prophecies and like the thing flew through the car, and I was like, all right, this is bogus. But yeah, I mean, since I got on the internet at age like 13, I've been huge into all the cool conspiracies and paranormal stuff, and
Hell yeah, man. Well, I think I got a pretty good one for you today. This actually ties into, you were in a band a while back in New Hampshire called MJ12, which stands for Majestic 12. This kind of actually ties into that briefly at the end, so I think you'll get a kick out of it.
That is an awesome band name, by the way.
Dude,
Yeah.
MJ12 is a really...
It was characterized
Majestic
with the
12 is such a great
with
name.
the Roman numerals. So it was MJ-XII.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
awesome.
Cool. Yeah,
it was pretty sick. It was pretty
great.
fun. Good.
It was great. Yeah.
All right. So you guys ready to dive into this? Like I said, this is very information heavy, so it's mostly story, but feel free to interject at any point with whatever you got.
Hey, I'm just happy that now that I'm sober, you don't have to worry about me nodding out, bouncing my head off the desk while you're rambling on about whatever the fuck. So,
Be honest, man, it wouldn't be the first time that somebody did that.
Yeah, this might
When I recorded the show.
might get a little boring at some points, and I'm sorry, but all the information is relevant. I swear.
We'll keep it spicy. It'll be fine. We'll keep it spicy.
All right. So, in 1965, the U.S. government participated in what some might consider the worst foreign exchange program ever imagined. 12 military personnel were plucked from existence and sent on a classified mission involving aliens, deep space travel, and conditions so brutal that it's a miracle anyone made it out alive. For decades, this mission was kept in the dark from the public, and that is until the mid-2000s when one brave whistleblower brought to light, dragging this secret space program out from the shadows. This week, gentlemen, we're going to be discussing something called Project Serpo. Is that something either of you guys have ever heard of?
I
Yeah,
am
sure
I
I've
am
heard of
familiar
this.
with
I'm pretty
this.
sure.
Yeah, not probably the level you're going to go into, but yeah, it's on like the periphery of my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know 100% if I recognize. It sounds very familiar to me. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
Isn't that the one with Al Pacino, right, where he's like the detective?
Yeah, and he wore the poncho
Yeah,
and the funny hat.
Yeah. Operation.
Yeah.
And Charlie
Serpo,
from
yeah.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia did that as well on an episode.
Yeah.
Project Serpico. That's what we're talking about today. Yeah.
That's what I thought you said.
All right. So the origins of Project Serpo, like any good secret space program community, traces all the way back to 1947 and the crash at Roswell. But according to those involved in Project Serpo, what we were told about the incident at Roswell, well, some things may have been left out of the official story, like the fact that there wasn't just one, but two distinct crash sites. The first being the one near Corona, New Mexico. That's the crash site we all know and love and refer to as the Roswell crash. There, the military recovered wreckage from the downed craft, a bunch of dead aliens, and, most notably, one survivor. This surviving entity was immediately taken into custody because if there's one thing Americans won't tolerate, even in the 40s, it's illegal aliens. But they were kind enough at least to give this one a name. This one was designated EBE-1, which stands for Extraterrestrial Biological Entity 1.
We know him commonly as Hulk Hogan, though. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rest in power, King.
Oh yeah, he was described as being small, humanoid, and frail-looking with brownish skin and large black eyes. He wasn't
So
hostile.
Mick Jagger. All right, go on. Sorry.
No, wait. I think Keith Richards is the small one.
Yeah. They're all pretty frail though.
They're all
They are British,
They're all pretty
so-
nightmarish. So EBE-1, he wasn't hostile. He was actually really calm, cooperative, and he kind of seemed like an all-around chill dude once he was able to communicate with his captors. Once in custody, he was relocated to Los Alamos National Laboratory, where he lived under the care of various scientists and military personnel. Then 2 years later, in 1949, that's when the second crash site was discovered. This was near Pelona Peak. I don't know where that. I'm assuming it's also still in New Mexico. There they found additional wreckage and 6 more alien bodies, all of which was recovered and transported to various secret military labs. So now between both sites, the U.S. had now collected 2 damaged crafts, a shitload of dead aliens, and one living being EBE-1, who was quickly becoming a very valuable source of information. Through a combination of like hand signals, object identification, and eventually some rudimentary English, EBE-1 was able to share information about his species, their culture, and their technology. He also explained how some of the recovered alien equipment worked, including the communication systems, which he used to transmit a signal to his homeworld, later identified as a planet in the Zeta Reticuli system, roughly 39 light years away. And this laid the groundwork for the future meet and greet between his people and ours. Now,
can I just interrupt you for just a second? So this is really interesting
yeah,
that you mentioned Zeta Reticuli because of Betty and Bonnie Hill, who also claimed to be visited by aliens from the Zeta Reticuli
Exeter,
system.
New Hampshire's own.
so,
That's right.
Yeah.
so you're,
I actually went. Every time I go, there's an area that I like to go camping and hiking up that way. And every time I go, I always stop at the gas station that's got that cool.
Yeah,
that cool
have you
mural
been
out
to
front.
the UFO festival they have there? It's awesome.
I haven't.
went a while back. It's pretty cool.
I'm sorry to derail things, but I thought Zeta Reticuli was just an interesting thing to call out,
Pertinent,
especially
yeah.
given we got two folks from New Hampshire. We need to celebrate Betty and Bonnie Hill as well.
But also, what I'm hearing from you, Sarge, is that Zeta Reticuli may be considered part of UFO mythology.
Agreed.
All right,
Agreed.
Keep that in mind. No spoilers, but keep that in mind. Now,
when you mentioned that they were trading technology back and forth,
yeah,
I for a second, just a brief second, I was like, maybe they explained why they keep sticking shit up our butts.
no,
And before you go on, Dave, Sarge just mentioned something that I actually wanted to touch on right off the bat, and he jogged my memory on it. My ADD's off the charts, so I'm just all over the place. But on the subject of spoilers, just please, can we make sure just no Marvel spoilers?
yeah, no, you're
during
good.
this pod. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
I just
Yeah, no. Now, EBE1 remained in U.S. custody until he sadly passed away in 1952 from an illness that doctors couldn't identify or treat, which is a bummer. He seemed like a really cool dude, and I was really hoping that he could have stuck around for the whole thing. So, R.I.P. EBE1, this one's for you. Let's have just a brief moment of silence for...
I'm gonna drink to your patter writer, Dave, because that guy is off the chain. That's some classic patter.
But guys, don't fret. His death was not in vain. 12 years after the passing of EBE1, the communication link that he helped establish paid off. In April of 1964, after years of intermittent contact, a face-to-face meeting between U.S. officials and EBE species, known now as the Ebens, finally took place. Now, according to quote-unquote Project Serpo material, this meeting took place at a remote site near Alamogordo, New Mexico, at a prearranged and very heavily controlled landing site. So here's how that whole thing went down. So an Ebens spacecraft descended, they recovered the remains of their fallen crew members, and then initiated a formal exchange of information. Luckily, the Ebens brought with them some sort of like translation device. They didn't actually like describe what it was or how it worked, but basically it allowed for limited but pretty effective communication, kind of. Like it allowed both sides to establish like a basic mutual understanding of each other. This first direct encounter pretty much, it was just like confirming what EBE had already told us. The Ebens were from Zeta Reticuli, possessed advanced spacefaring technology, and had an interest in establishing peace relations with humanity. What followed next, though, was the negotiation of what some might consider a bit of an unprecedented agreement, that being an interstellar exchange program. And negotiations must have been fairly quick because by 1965, roughly like a year later after the initial meeting, all the plans were finalized. So the plan was that 12 Americans, 10 men, 2 women were selected to travel to the Ebens' home planet, and in return, one Eben would remain on Earth as a diplomatic liaison. Now, I haven't read The Art of the Deal, but I feel like this is
like a raw
this is
deal.
not- yeah, I feel like we got like that does not sound like a good trade-off, right?
I recognize that America is not known for its math skills, but we do have to recognize that 12 is more than 1.
Yes, but also at the same time, the first Eben to be on Earth died within 5 years. Like,
Okay.
what? Our audience, they're everyone. So
I don't know, man. You told me to behave. This is me behaving. I'm keeping it classy.
no, you're doing great. All
I
right.
know.
So the 12 selected individuals, obviously they were all military, Air Force, Army, and Navy, and they were carefully chosen for their skills, like their backgrounds, their psychological profiles. The group included scientists, medical officers, linguists, pilots, and security personnel. And before their departure, they underwent 6 months of intensive training in a whole slew of fields like astronomy, alien language basics, and survival in unknown environments. Their identities were completely erased from official records, which I learned through this. This is a process known as being sheep dipped, I guess is what it's called.
Yeah.
This also and their
Don't
families
they do that
were
in
given
like West Virginia? Isn't that like
Hunter S. Thompson used to talk about that a lot, actually.
and their families were given cover stories, some of which included false death notifications to explain them just like disappearing out of thin air. Then, in July of 1965, it was time to saddle up. The 12-person team boarded an Evans spacecraft at the Nevada testing site, and with them, they brought supplies like food, water, weapons, scientific instruments, and communications gear, all for what was intended to be a 10-year mission. And with that, the ship took off, bound for a planet 39 light years away. So 39 light years is pretty far, I would say, I think. I'm not a scientist, but to give you an idea of just how far away, it would take Voyager 1, which travels at a speed of around 38,000 miles per hour, roughly 685,000 years to get there. But that's human technology. The Ebens, they possessed a propulsion system that allowed them to cover the distance in under a year. They said it took them roughly 9 months to get there. Now, what that propulsion system was is unclear. Some say it's antimatter energy or some sort of space warping or wormhole type shit. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. Whatever it was, yeah. The ship moved at approximately 40 times the speed of light, which is way beyond anything Earth scientists could even fully comprehend. That's insane. As for the human crew on the ship, they experienced a wide range of physical effects during the trip. They didn't float in zero gravity, which means the ship was generating its own gravity. They were able to walk, sleep, exercise during the trip, so that's nice. The journey wasn't without its challenges, though. Several team members reported persistent dizziness, disorientation, and recurring headaches. Symptoms that were probably caused by the fact that they were traveling 12 billion miles a second in an alien craft suited for their environment. But fuck,
or somebody swapped their Tang out for blue dolphins, if you know what I'm saying. Remember that from Bad Boys 2? They had the blue.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I got you.
Great movie.
Just for those Americans that are listening to the show, 39 light years is a little over 400 trillion football fields.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Were you listening to anything after that, or were you just looking that up the entire time?
No, I was doing the math.
Gotcha. All right.
That's what most people will probably walk away from this with. They'll be like, check this out. That's a great factoid. That's a
lot
deal
of football
closer
fields
at a bar. You drop that fact, you're closing the deal.
That's the art of the deal, baby. Something the fucking Americans apparently can't figure out with aliens.
Look at that, man.
Right?
I like
now,
that.
As far as the crew's accommodations on the ship, the Americans had sleeping quarters, food storage areas, and space to store all their equipment and supplies. They also began the process of adapting to Eben food while traveling by gradually mixing it in with their food to try and help minimize digestive shock when they got there. Spoiler alert, non-Marvel spoiler alert, it didn't happen. Now, by early 1966, the ship finally entered the Zeta Reticuli system. Now, as they approached their destination, the team observed a binary star system. That means two suns, for those of you who might be unfamiliar with that term.
And for those of you conservatives, don't worry, there's no pronouns involved, you fucking mongoloids.
Yeah, I had a bathroom joke on deck, but you beat me to it on.
Well, sorry.
I mean, you can use a bathroom joke too, because I kind of want to know, how did the food affect him when it came to?
Oh, don't worry,
pooping?
We're gonna get there.
Oh, that's in
good.
here.
I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, we'll cover that in detail.
You just lit up the. I'm gonna talk about shit very soon, guys.
Dude, I told you that this information, this episode is very information heavy. So any questions you might have will probably be answered as we go down. But Sarge, to go back to what you were saying, even though it is a binary star system, there are still genders. There was one slightly larger sun, that is the male sun. It is larger and more yellow. The smaller
pronouns are he, him.
The smaller one is the female, and that is orange. I also made that up. They're just two different suns. There's no genders. I just wanted to say that.
Ben Shapiro has something he'd like to say about that, Dave.
But yeah, so anyway, so they saw the two suns, kind of like Tatooine style, I guess.
Okay.
And then they finally saw the planet that would be their home for the next few years, a planet that they would come to call Serpo. So Serpo kind of sucks. It's just a super harsh environment. So being a binary star system,
the only fast food chain is Hardee's.
But it sucks because, like, even though it's a binary star system, it's not like Tatooine where they're both in the sky at the same time. It's just in constant, like, sunlight. Like,
it's perpetual daylight,
and it's like oppressive sunlight, and the temperatures exceeding up to 110 degrees in most regions. And even with like protective gear, the brightness caused severe eye strain, and several members suffered from acute sunburn, some getting even second-degree burns within hours of arrival. Not great. It's kind of like, what was that movie with Vin Diesel, Pitch Black? It's like that, but if it never turned dark.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett if it was 30,000 light year days of light.
Exactly.
Yeah. 400 trillion
So,
football fields of light.
Dave, I'm assuming you're going to tell me this will be answered, but like right off the jump, I'm like, why? What this being, that they swapped with, isn't this the type of pertinent information you think you'd want to like? Hey, not only do you have to adjust to the dietary issues and such, but like it's going to be fucking hot.
You know what was challenging is that sunglasses weren't invented until the 1980s, and so that was really challenging for them. Imagine that you're going to another planet that you know is a place you've never been before, and not packing sunscreen or sunglasses.
It was also before they made that sunscreen song too, so no one really knew the benefits of it.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah, valid. No, I think they knew. I mean, they had to have known they had to get used to the food, because they did say that they started mixing their food like while on the ship with their MREs to like kind of get used to it.
They should have been hitting the tanning bed though as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, as far as that, I have no idea how. Like they said they had protective gear. What that was, I don't know. Maybe like a sun shirt for like fat kids when they're going to a pool.
It was one of those like big floppy hats that middle-aged women wear when they garden.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
They had a pair of scissors so they can make all their outfits sleeveless.
Yeah, like, I genuinely don't know what their preparation was. That wasn't in the quote-unquote leaked information. But there was also the atmosphere of Serpo, which also sucked. It was breathable, but it was much thinner than Earth's, causing shortness of breath, fatigue, and elevated heart rates. And it took several months before most of them were able to acclimate just to that. And then there were the digestive issues. They were all like almost immediate. Like the team had brought about 2 years worth of food from Earth, but the long-term goal was to transition to ebon food sources. But early attempts to do so resulted in widespread gastrointestinal issues. Nausea, cramps, and chronic diarrhea hit everyone fast and hard, to the point where a lot of them were almost dehydrated on a daily basis, because you're combining that with also the oppressive heat. Not great. The Ebons did try to help through modified food prep, and they even tried to like synthesize more Earth-like foods, but it still took almost a year before they could eat their food without having full-on prolapses from shitting themselves so much. Like that's
amazing.
how aggressive it
was.
Look,
I don't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time, all of the hardships you're currently describing were the things I experienced when I went to Iraq. Literally all of it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it sounds like par for the course when all you have to eat is Hardee's.
I mean...
But like, even right down to the gastrointestinal distress.
This is such a great phrase, too. Gastrointestinal distress is really rolls off the tongue.
That's actually the name that Taco Bell chose for their house band.
I was gonna say it sounds like a gore grind band, and one that I would see on a regular basis if they played
Immediately,
live.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Liv Moss. Here's some baby wipes.
Now, as far as living arrangements, they were fine. Like the Evans initially provided like temporary housing near where they had landed, which was near the equator, which was also the hottest fucking region of the planet at about 110 plus degrees Fahrenheit. It was nothing special. They were just like little basic structures. They were climate controlled and they were a place to like escape the harsh sunlight. But within the first year, they were able to work with the Evans to build a more permanent base up north where it was less of like a scorched hellscape. I think it said like the temperatures there range between like 80 and 90, which is like better.
It's not too bad,
But it's
but
consistent. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it was a dry heat. You know what I mean? It's a dry heat.
I love when people say that, and it's like, you know what? That it's still fucking hot.
Oh, it's awful.
You're still gonna sweat. You're gonna hate your life,
Dry heat.
regardless of whether it's dry or wet.
Yeah, I remember I went to Vegas, and that's a dry heat, and it sucks because there's no there's no, you can't escape it. It's a dry heat because there's no clouds. It's just oppressive
Yeah, it feels like you're
sunlight.
walking into an oven.
Yeah. Yep.
Evan sounds like it fucking sucks.
It's not great. It's not ideal for anyone involved.
It sounds a lot like Orlando, to be honest.
Less humid though.
But despite all the shitting and sunburns, Serpo was pretty peaceful.
Was that
The
in your friggin' right up there?
You wrote that down.
You wrote that.
Despite all the shitting and stuff.
Yeah.
Can I actually, I do need to interject here. So, when I got overseas, I tried Iraqi food for the first time and it was a mistake. And it happened to be during a heat wave that I had tried this Iraqi food. A heat wave in October, by the way.
Hell yeah.
And we didn't have bathrooms on our base. We just had porta potties. And I got to tell you, you learn a lot about yourself as a man when you have to shit in a porta potty in 110-degree heat.
Bud.
You immediately start sweating. You walk into the pool. You haven't even pulled your pants down yet, and you're already sweating.
This is what I've been hearing from my kid because he's at summer camp right now. We've been having like little streaks of these 100-degree days, and they have like one porta potty there, and it's like 100 first through fifth graders, and like he's just like, I don't think he's had a bowel movement in 9 or 10 days. I'll be honest.
He's a smart boy.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that used to be me, but at least I was like high on dope. But at least I had a good like other side of the coin.
You had a good reason to not be shitting.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm hearing is that Sarge, your kid, and everyone who went to Woodstock '99 have all experienced porta potties on 110-degree days. That's what.
Yeah.
All right.
Punishment.
All right, so I'm gonna get back to this now. You guys ready? So, despite all the shitting and sunburns, Serpo was pretty
There
peaceful.
it is again. Go on.
The Evans were super welcoming. They assisted with acclimation, provided medical support when needed. There was no signs of like hostility or them being like territorial. If anything, they were like
They have free
genuinely
healthcare?
invested.
That's
Pretty much, yeah.
Go on.
Oh, dude, this turns into a woke liberal night's like hellscape. You just wait. If
So
anything,
you're saying
they
I
would.
can't say the R word? Did we go over this?
No, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Go on.
But I did make you a promise where I will bleep out 3 random words that you say to make you look like an asshole.
Well, as long as you don't bleep out, I'll be fine.
I got
I've never heard that slur before, so I'm impressed.
Yeah, I learned it in Orlando. They've got all sorts of fucked up stuff down
It doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, the Evans, if anything, they were like genuinely invested in the success of the exchange program, and they freely offered up any resources or guidance they could. And during the initial acclimation phase, the American team maintained structure and routine. The mission commander oversaw daily operations, assigned roles, and made sure that detailed logs were kept. The team recorded environmental data, surveyed the surrounding terrain, and documented the Evan customs and technology. Do you guys want to learn what they learned?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Don't all get so excited. Jesus Christ.
I
Well,
didn't know this was-
I
I didn't
am
know this was
excited.
gonna be like a choose your own adventure type deal. I'm here for it.
all right. Well, you pretty much know all there is to know about the planet. It's hot, constant,
Sucks,
sun's blazing
yeah.
down. The breathable but super thin atmosphere. And as far as like water, there weren't any oceans or anything like that. There were some shallow lakes, small rivers, and all their drinking and like usable water came from wells and like underground rivers that were like super clean. Apparently, like you didn't need to filter them at all. You could just drink it straight from the ground. Vegetation was pretty much the type of shit you would find in a desert: scrub bush, cacti-like plants, and all their crops were like tuber bearing, like think like carrots, yams, potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Ebens grew them on like communal farms. Animal life existed, but it wasn't like super diverse. Like it was just kind of like the same all over. Kind of like you ever played like you ever played
Kind of
No
like
Man's
living
Sky?
in New Hampshire.
That too.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. I have played No Man's Sky.
Just raccoons, skunks, and possums.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you get
A whole state dedicated to them.
you get the occasional fish or cat. Come on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think those guys are border hoppers. I'll be honest.
It did say that like there was like a group of like big lizard type creatures that the Ebens they somehow turned into like kind of like how we use horses to like plow fields and shit like that. That was the only thing that said that sounded actually kind of cool, but all this is kind of like boring. So culturally, the Ebens were highly structured and peaceful. Their society had no currency, no crime, and no apparent class division. Sounds pretty woke, pretty liberal.
Okay.
Resources were shared communally, and each individual was assigned a role in their society based on aptitude that was determined at an early age. Local distribution centers provided all necessities like food, tools, and clothing, and there was no concept of like private ownership. Every citizen contributed through work, whether in agriculture, engineering, education, or whatever. As far as governance, that was handled by a central, quote-unquote, council of governors, which is a group of elders who made decisions by consensus. There were no elections, no political factions, or any like observed conflict within those things. The decision of the council like was followed without resistance.
I'll be honest. I would put up with the shitting and the heat for this.
So this is like Cambridge, Massachusetts.
It's like Venezuela. That sounds fucking
It's like
awesome.
Venezuela.
Welcome to hot Vermont.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that sounds
If
great.
Vermont had been moved to Arizona.
Yeah, that actually sounds terrible when you put it that way.
Yeah, a lot of farmers markets,
But it's
Ugh.
just cacti.
celebrating
cacti fruit.
cultures that don't even exist in your state.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Las Vegas, now more white people with dreads.
The Ebens also practiced a form of religion centered around some sort of supreme being. It wasn't really described in detail.
It was Jerry Garcia.
Every settlement had a place of worship where daily rituals were observed. Education was centralized. The children were raised collectively and assigned. This sounds so much like a hippie commune. It is wild.
It also
It
sounds like
literally
we
sounds
clearly,
exactly like hot Vermont.
we learned nothing from this trip, though. Clearly, is what I'm
Yeah.
gathering as well. Go on.
We never do. We did an episode on Valiant Thor, and like he did a bunch of these, like, hey guys, come on, like maybe you should not do it, and they're like, yeah, fuck you, alien. Like,
We
What
can
do
we
you know?
want. Richard Nixon's president.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
so the children were raised collectively and they were assigned educational paths based on their abilities. And once trained, Ebens remained in that field for life.
Did they have homeschooling there?
I mean, it kind of sounds like it in a way. Like it sounds like they just kind of all gathered in one place and someone taught them. Like but either way, the human team, they noted that the Eben children developed super quickly. They were like self-sufficient at a very young age, and they were super intelligent, and that the average Eben IQ was estimated to be around 165. Now, I don't know shit about
Nice.
IQs, and I don't know if that's high or not.
That's pretty high, yeah. The
Okay.
average human IQ, if I understand correctly, is like in the 100 range.
Okay. Sure. Well, I'm going to go with you on this one.
I think Adam Sandler brought that average down considerably, though.
Now, as for how the Ebens communicated, it was a blend of spoken language and like empathic cues. The Eben language was tonal and difficult for the Americans like team to learn, but over several years they had compiled a full English to Eben dictionary, and by the end of the stay, communication became pretty fluid. Like they were able to like They didn't need a translator, nothing like that.
These fucking overachievers.
The Americans are up and they're like, when we're here, you'll speak our language, guys. In English, please.
That's can't believe I'm on this planet with all these foreigners. It's crazy.
I like that even in the 60s, Americans didn't travel well.
Yeah.
We never have, dude. I mean, like, look
Yeah.
at the way we got to America to begin with. That wouldn't be considered traveling well, I don't think.
I'm sorry, you don't speak English, you fucking peasants.
Right. All these fucking foreigners, dude. Fuck. Now, the team was granted full access to anything and anywhere they wanted to go. They traveled to various villages, industrial facilities, research outposts. The team was also provided a small anti-gravity craft that the American pilots learned to pilot, and they were able to explore the planet's surface,
The
collect
Prius,
samples.
right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Sick.
Well, you know it's not a Tesla. It wouldn't have made it.
No, that would have blown the fuck out.
They were also exposed to broader interstellar networks that the Ebens participated in. According to them, the Ebens, they were like in contact
Spike
with 9.
TV,
Pretty much, yeah. 1,000 Ways to Die. That
The
kind
Man
of stuff.
Show.
Man Show, yeah. Now, according to the Ebens, they were in contact with 9 other star systems. They even got to meet representatives from other extraterrestrial species, but details on the interactions were limited. So it's pretty safe to say that over the 13 years they were there, the Americans became... Oh, yeah, it was supposed to be 10 years. They were there for 13. A little longer than what it was supposed to be. The Americans became part of like the Eben world. They weren't just observers, but they were now fully integrated into the alien civilization. But despite the team's ability to adapt to the environment and society, the mission was actually pretty rough at times. Like the prolonged exposure to the planet's conditions, the isolation from Earth, and just like the sheer psychological weight of living among an alien species for over a decade created what some would call significant challenges, so to say. Of the original 12 members, 2 died in the first few years of the mission. According to the quote-unquote documents released by the whistleblower, one of the team members died from a pulmonary embolism not long after the group's arrival. The second succumbed due to injuries sustained during an outing, but details on what exactly happened to them is unclear. Some say he fucked himself up on some terrain. Others say an animal attacked him. I don't really know.
He just shit out all of his internal organs.
That is likely as well.
Gastrointestinal distress rears its ugly head again.
Yeah.
So mental strain was another serious issue among the crew. Even though they were highly trained and psychologically screened, nothing could have really prepared them for the realities of life on like an alien world. The constant sunlight, the alien culture, the food, and the total absence of like the normal societal structures that we are used to, it all kind of wore on them. One member had to be relieved of duties for several months due to a psychological breakdown, and another attempted to isolate himself from both the team and the Ebens and lived in near total isolation for over a year.
I mean, I would have done that shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Sounds like the way to go.
Time perception was also a major problem. Serpo had a 43-hour day, and you combine that with the fact that there was never like a true night. It made standard Earth timekeeping pretty much impossible, and everyone's like circadian rhythms just went to shit.
I don't know how much research you did, but can I ask, like, do you know how they know the difference between it being a 43-hour day? Like, how do you know it was a new day?
Well, just rotation of the Earth.
Well,
No.
They weren't
On the
Earth,
planet,
David.
how did the people on the planet know?
I don't know. They fucking
Not
they're
like
scientists
from
and
outside
shit,
the
dude.
planet.
I have no idea. Science?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, was there like, did one of the suns get really low in the sky? Like, I was
would
just trying to figure
assume.
it out.
I would assume so.
Fuck me for asking
Sarge,
questions.
None of
There's
this
just
is
like one day there. It's just one day. Just
it's 43 hours. That's all I know.
Okay.
Good?
All right.
Okay. So without a strict routine, some members of the
43 hours. So if they made that Ed Norton movie there, it would be called The 44th Hour.
Fuck you, John.
Pretty deep cut. Sorry about that.
So without a strict routine, some members of the team lost track of days, weeks, even months. Their physical health deteriorated over time as well. Remember, this bitch has 2 suns, so the background radiation on Serpo was pretty high. Not enough to like immediately kill you, but over time it did fuck them up. By the end of the mission, several of the teams showed signs of radiation illness, like cellular damage, weakened immune systems, and unexplained internal conditions. No idea what that
Radiation
means.
illness. That's like, what did they have to listen to Imagine Dragons?
No, it's brain damage, bro. It's brain damage.
Yeah. So,
Touche.
two of the
Can I
survivors.
wait?
What?
I'm sorry, he brought up Imagine Dragons. I got to talk about this. I was once featured in an article, including the lead singer of Imagine Dragons, as he read mean tweets about him, including one of mine.
No,
oh
you
my,
weren't.
that's incredible. That talk about closing the deal line. Like that's it. That's amazing.
The tweet was, "Hey,
What
this
was
is
it?
a
Yeah.
really good song." Oh no, what was it? I think it was like something like, "This is a really good song" is probably something Imagine Dragons has never heard. And then right after they posted my tweet, they had a like thing from him where he talked about how hard it was to read.
Dude, that guy's such a. My favorite quote from him, and I'll let you get with it. Like Imagine Dragons, you got to talk about it. He gave some interview years back where he's like, you know, we're here for the kids, and like I never want like, you know, for our music, I never want any kid to ever be bullied because they listen to Imagine Dragons. It's like, dude, then like what? What?
That's exclusively what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Kids are literally dying because of this band. God.
When every song is one drum and a bunch of shouting, like it's your own fault.
Yeah, that's valid.
They're so bad.
Man.
All right.
All right, so back to how this fucking planet ruined these people's lives.
Right.
So, it
Imagine Dragons toured there, and that's what.
Imagine Dragons is actually timeless, literally.
There'll never not be a punchline.
So,
All right.
So they're all getting fucked up by the sun. The radiation's causing their insides to turn to goo. Two of the surviving members who returned to Earth reportedly developed cancer within a decade. Others suffered from chronic fatigue, organ dysfunction, and neurological issues. And then, gentlemen, to make things worse, EBE2, the Eben representative who stayed on Earth, he died while the team was still on Serpo.
Yeah.
Which, thankfully, the Ebens understood.
How did he die?
Fucking old age.
Vigorous anal probing.
How did he
But
die?
anyway, so-
What did he tell the other kids at the alien school that he was an Imagine Dragons fan? They
Moment
beat
of
the shit-
silence for EBE2, all right? All right, that's enough of that. Thankfully, though, the Ebens understood that shit happens, and it didn't start like an intergalactic crisis, so that's good.
They're like, that's okay, guys. We killed
Did he
two
die
of
of?
yours.
Did he die of natural causes? Or
I think so. It didn't say. I'm going to assume he just died the same way the other one did, which is probably a disease that he got from Earth, like smallpox or some shit like that, and we did.
Either that or he tried to score in Baltimore, you know?
Yeah, he's just all fucked.
yo, that's an actual awful move. I know somebody who. Anyway, go on.
All right. So by the time the mission was nearing its end, morale had splintered. Some were eager to return home, while others had grown pretty deeply connected to the Eben society and seriously considered staying. Now, ultimately, in 1978, 13 years after they left Earth, 2 members of the team were dead. 2 decided to stay behind, and the remaining 8 of the original 12 returned to Earth. They were returned via Eben craft to the same Nevada site that they had departed from, obviously older, physically worn, and psychologically changed. Now, according to quote-unquote leaked documents, their physical condition was generally stable. There were obvious signs of like long-term strain, and like I said, several of them were showing signs of radiation exposure. And then they were immediately taken to a classified military facility where they were subjected to intensive debriefing and a very lengthy quarantine process. Medical evaluations were conducted over the course of months, including physical, psychological, and neurological assessments. And their testimonies were recorded in detail, including thousands of pages of handwritten notes, maps, sketches, and environmental data from Serpo. Each member was debriefed individually, and then as a group, while military scientists collected and analyzed like biological and technological samples brought back. They found that some of the recovered materials were so advanced that they couldn't be reverse engineered, while others just degraded or failed under Earth's atmosphere. As far as like the crew's reintegration into human society, it was pretty rough. They had been gone for 13 years. Like the whole world changed. But also, if you'll remember, many of the crew had been declared dead or missing during classified operations, quote unquote. So everyone in their lives had moved on. Family, friends, colleagues, they just were no longer around.
And even worse than that, they came back and were sound like a bunch of commies. Pinko.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Right, this is the worst time to come back too, like the height of the Cold War. Like, and they're just like, "Hey, man,
I'm going to Venezuela.
Have you heard about communal living, bro?"
I'm moving to Vermont.
Oh, this has to tie into the McCarthy stuff somehow. I'm sure. Yeah. So they. I missed it. Did you say how many survived initially? Or they all came back,
So
right?
two died and 8 came home. 2 stayed on. Am I right?
Yeah. So
2 stayed on the planet.
2 died, 2 stayed, only 8 came back. So it was only 8 of them
But
that
the 8
came
came
back.
and people were like, who are you guys?
Well, they were given new identities. They were given pensions, and obviously, like
And they all formed the band Fish.
Bro, could you?
Yeah, Dave, you really brushed over the most critical issue with radiation sickening is jamming.
Bro,
It's
could you imagine if Fish was just one big psyop, dude? It tracks.
Nobody wants to listen to a 20-minute jam session. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But all right, so they're given new identities, pensions, and they were given very strict orders to shut the fuck up about what they had done and where they had been. That didn't help. Most, if not all, that returned struggled with depression, isolation, and deteriorating health. As for the 2 who decided to stay on Serpo, they were never heard from again. According to an Eben communication received years later, they had fully integrated into Eben society and they were thriving, but who really knows?
They had a bunch of fucked up kids.
Dude, I didn't even think
They
about
had like interbred.
I genuinely didn't even think about the fucking interbreed.
I mean, you got to get that nut. I mean, what else?
I mean, maybe that's how you explain why the girl from the Queen's Gambit has eyes that look like aliens.
Yeah, well, that's also where Ted Cruz came from, so... Failure all around.
So officially, obviously, there's no public record of Project Serpo that exists.
Right.
The DoD and the Air Force have never acknowledged the project, and no documentation has ever been declassified. Now, it should come as no surprise that all the information that exists, the logs, the reports, the personnel files, comes exclusively from anonymous leaks on the internet from a source using the very creative alias Anonymous.
Well, I say we get one more week of this Epstein stuff, and they're going to release that info.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they already said they're going to release concrete evidence that aliens exist.
Dude, it's crazy on that. Like, I was reading in threads, like, 12 hours before that announcement, people making that joke, being like, they're going to literally announce aliens, and then...
Yeah, because that's exactly what's going to happen. So in late 2005, Project Serpo blew up in conspiracy circles when a series of anonymous emails started popping up on a private UFO discussion list, which it's basically like an invite-only email group for researchers, former military, and UFO enthusiasts. And it was moderated by a guy named Victor Martinez, a former government employee. Now, the sender of the emails, Anonymous, claimed to be a retired senior defense intelligence agency official and began dropping detailed information about a top-secret human-alien exchange program that had allegedly been buried since the 1970s.
And this program would grow up to be the T app.
The emails contained elaborate timelines, details of the Serpo mission, stats of the planet, crew biographies, Eben societal structures, all that kind of bullshit. With all this information, it didn't take long for the story to blow up online. So UFO forums, conspiracy blogs, and early paranormal podcasts all latched onto the story. There's even like a crude like a crude official looking website, serpo.org, that was created.
Serpo.geocities.org.
It's all green
Yeah.
text on black background.
It's just an angel fire site. That's all it is.
yeah.
It was. No, this was created to
All the paragraphs are in the shape of a UFO.
So this was created to archive the drops. It's like an earlier and way nerdier version of like QAnon. Like there'd be like there'd be like drops like every so often, and it'd be archived on the site. But for many in the UFO community, this was like the holy grail of like UFO information. But this is where it gets good. So a man by the name of Richard C. Doughty, a former Air Force Office of Special Investigations agent, infamous for his role in disinformation campaigns during the 1980s, was eventually linked to all this material. Doughty had previously been involved in the Paul Benowitz case, where he fed false alien intel to a civilian research, leading him to have a mental breakdown.
God damn it.
He was also tied to the infamous Majestic 12 documents, which were a set of allegedly leaked government memos that claimed a secret group was managing extraterrestrial contact and is widely considered to be a hoax. In fact, MJ-12 is believed by many to be one of the most elaborate disinformation operations in UFO history. So Doughty's connection to Serpo like only deepened people's suspicion that the entire saga might be like a calculated fabrication or psychological operation, or as the kids call it, a psyop. Now, Doughty has never confirmed or denied his involvement in Serpo because fucking why would he? But
yeah, of course.
But he has danced around it in interviews for years, and the Serpo leaks had all the hallmarks of like a good conspiracy. Anonymous government insiders, dead scientists, black budget programs, and aliens who were just a little too cooperative with the US government. Still, UFO researchers are split on it. Some hailed it as one of the most credible whistleblower dumps ever. Others, like including respected figures in the field like Stanton Friedman, dismissed it whole hog, saying that it's just a part of a long tradition of government psyops and UFO mythology being used to confuse, distract, and entertain. That comes back to the UFO mythology thing I was saying, the Zeta Reticuli thing. Like, it's already been established in multiple abduction cases, so why not use it here? Right, Sarge? You're not paying attention at all.
I'm really mad about this, to be honest with you. I'm kind of pissed off. This motherfucker. This
He's
was
on
an
r/Imagine
exciting fucking
Dragons.
story, and this goddamn douchebag
What?
ruined it.
Well, he didn't ruin it. He created it.
Well, that's what I mean. He fucking ruined it by creating it, the son of a bitch.
Yeah, but like a really good government psyop, like they'll like, you know, this guy's known to have a bunch of proven psyops, but like one of them's got to be true because that's like the ultimate dupe. So like this could be that one.
I guess.
True.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
To be honest, this actually plays in. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I get it. Like, you could put this information out and people would just assume it's a psyop because everything else has been a psyop.
Right.
Like, I get it, yeah,
Right.
but also, fuck that guy. Like,
So this actually plays into a theory that I've had for a long. Well, it wasn't my theory, but one that I agreed with for a long time. It's that the government would rather you believe this was aliens than to actually tell you what it really was, which is like some, fucking high tech military equipment.
but this is nothing of that. Like there's no.
Well, no, they're just perpetuating it.
I guess.
Like, this is the kind of shit that the people who go and hang out at Area 51 and take photographs fall for head over heels. And so when they're like, oh, I believed in this, and then you're like, well, I kind of made it up. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then everyone's like, oh, this guy's full of shit because he believed that everyone went to another planet and interbred with aliens.
This one is like extraordinary as far as like the different levels to it. Like going there, people getting integrated in the culture, just the whole like travel back and like them coming back. I mean, that's all. That's pretty awesome. I want to believe.
I feel like
I want to believe it too because it's so cool.
It's really cool.
I just feel like there's too much information You know what I mean? Like, there's too many details where it sounds like it's it's like when you're lying and you add too many details.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Just to play devil's advocate on that, you know, that is a classic like psyop tactic too, though. Like when people start catching on to stuff, you release all the information, so people are like, well, this is so ridiculous, like it can't be true. But I mean, maybe I'm giving too much credit to the government, which
to everyone,
to everybody, yeah. But no, this is pretty awesome, but like ridiculous.
But also, I didn't do any research. Like, was there anything going on in 2005 where we needed to distract people from?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the Iraq and Afghan war.
Yeah, but that was 2001.
Wasn't that when suddenly Susan got canceled?
Oh fuck, dude! I think nailed it. Dude. I think
one of Elizabeth Shue's finest moments.
But I mean, like, not everyone was into it. Like the UFO, the UFO community was split. Like, no, like it was like there was a lot of inconsistencies. Like, skeptics pointed out major inconsistencies in like all the data that came out. Like, the math wasn't checking out. The Eben calendar system was like contradictory. Astronomers questioned Serpo's orbit and radiation exposure, and then a ton of like the linguistic and biological claims didn't align with any known science. But I mean, it's alien, so I guess maybe it wouldn't. A lot of critics also noted that many of the story's beats sounded eerily similar to 60s and 70s era sci-fi, like The Day the Earth Stood Still, Stranger in a Strange Land, and even Close Encounters, which very notably involved kind of like a similar exchange program at the end of the film.
Well, those movies were obviously based on the events that happened.
Is that... They were... Yeah. I mean... I did watch the movie Paul, and I did know that E.T. was found.
I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely sorry.
But still, with all the scrutiny, like the legend, it just didn't die. Like forums, books, and documentaries continue to reference Serpo. The tale is now part of the modern UFO mythos, right up there with Roswell, MJ-12, and Area 51. So whether it was a genuine leak or a psyop or just one of the most elaborate pieces of collaborative storytelling in UFO history, Project Serpo has endured, and now I'm here telling you guys about it. So there you have it. That is the story of Project Serpo. How are we feeling about it? John, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Sarge. John?
I love it. I mean, this is one of those. So, I mean, I have always been into. I feel like all the best conspiracies fall into kind of two categories of plausible and there's like, wow, this makes sense on so many levels. You want to believe it, and then there's the ones I love where they're like absolutely ludicrous, but so detailed and have so much going on where it's like absolutely still fascinating and worth researching and diving into. And this is one I'm 100% going to go do a deep dive on, even though it's fairly ludicrous, but like there's so many layers to it that you got to respect the hustle. There's a lot of details that are left out. Like there's full on like biographies of each person that was involved in the program, their names, like all that stuff. Like, so what happened to them? Is there any they were given new identities and then they're just did they get like Epstein or no. As far as I know that in 2002 I think like 4 of them were still alive, and by the time that this dropped I think only like 1 was still around, so 2005. But I mean, like, that's just the dude dropping the information says, so I have no idea. But yeah, there's a lot of shit to look into. Like I said, like I put in all the relevant information. There's a lot of, I'm not gonna say irrelevant information. Gastrointestinal distress. Yeah, there was a lot of pooping, dude. Like that shit. So much poop. That shit must have smelled real bad. Oh man, no, this is a great one. I love a good the storytelling arc on this is great, because some of the great conspiracies I love are based around just like a small like tidbit that people build on, but this like is presented to us already with this lore, which is awesome. Well, I mean, like there's like we always say on the show, like we don't believe a lot of the conspiracy theories, but every good conspiracy theory has like that one kernel of truth where when you find that one kernel of truth,
you're like, well, what else about this could be true?
Right.
Now, I don't know what about this could be. I mean, the one kernel of truth is that there was a Roswell incident, whether it was a crash or not.
And there was probably a colonel involved.
Fair, but
At least a lieutenant colonel.
or also in all the amounts of fucking diarrhea happening, there was one kernel of something.
I will say, like, the one other thing that stood out to me on this on that note about like the colonel, or like because with a story like this, you wonder if it was fabricated. Like, what was the ultimate purpose of it? And I thought it was interesting the way that this alien society is basically portrayed like a communist socialist type society, especially back in the time we're talking about.
Which, yeah, it was like Cold War heavy era.
Yeah, so it's almost like, was this supposed to be some sort of like warning story that just somebody spun out of control and like lost the plot on, or but like that part's interesting to me too.
But why wouldn't you release it? Like, why wouldn't you leak, quote unquote, the information during the time of the Cold War, like in the 80s, like after it had already supposedly ended? Like, why wait till 2005 to do it? Like, I don't think there was a huge communist uprising at that time.
Well, they didn't have email. They were waiting for email to be invented, so Anonymous could drop those emails.
Well, wait, wasn't email invented by the government in the 80s? Or the internet? Right?
You're talking about Al Gore, right?
Yeah, a series of tubes. That's all it was. Yeah. No, it's just a series of tubes, guy.
Well, so the thing that I find interesting about this is in this story, they've actually made this place that is essentially a hellscape.
Yeah.
Surprisingly progressive.
I feel like
they weren't super negative about how progressive it was. They were just like, no, they lived like this, but it was super hot. It's like, well, I could deal with.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like if I lived in a perpetual hellscape, that's probably the best way to do it. Because I feel like if you went on your own, you would die immediately.
Exactly.
I would live in a overheated hellscape if there was like decentralized government and affordable healthcare. I mean, that's a fair trade-off for me.
I will say the one refreshing thing about this story is that I've done a lot of conspiracies on this show and like secret space program shit, but this one turned into like a pretty wholesome, like communistic, maybe not communist, but like a good society that everyone helps each other. When I did Hollow Earth, that turned into Nazis in the third episode. We did a 3-parter. And I made the mistake of writing all 3 parts section by section, like researching one section before. So by the time
you didn't know where you were ending up, dude. Oh man, yeah, that gets really dark.
Yeah, so Hollow Earth turns into just a bunch of Nazis. So I'm glad this didn't turn out to be that, because I would have had to scrap the whole thing, and that would have been bad. Or just played into it. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I mean, you can't get far in the conspiracy space without hitting a couple of Nazis.
I know. I'm sure if I dug deeper into this, there would be some sort of like blood libel, adrenochrome, something or other, but...
It's probably what
another race that these aliens deal with that happen to have a lot of gold coins in a banking system,
It didn't go into banking, thank Christ. I don't know anything about... Well, no, it said there's no money. It was all just like, you just kind of got it. So, yeah. So
right, and the interspecies children that were bred on that planet went out to establish the Federal Reserve.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. All right, guys. So that's the end of the episode. I think we nailed it. I think we crushed it. Yeah. So I guess with all that out of the way, John, do you got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to?
Yeah, I just say a couple quick words. Obviously, I'm on here as your homie and a conspiracy enthusiast, but for anyone else who's on the internet, I do run a meme page. It's probably I've been told by people who knows it's probably the best meme page. And it's
the greatest one in history.
It's on Instagram at Pipesbuffet. So check it out. Like, follow, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and give a. That's what they do these days, right? The Twitchers or whatever they call them.
The Twitchers.
Streamies. Streamies. Logan Paulus.
Yeah.
I actually just shared a meme that you had on your page of Jesus reaching into water.
Oh, dude, did that fall in the toilet
You
again?
fell into the toilet again.
Dude, that's literally one of my favorites that I ever have made. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah, and I've been really turning it up on that page. What sucks is so I got 477 days clean today, which is awesome.
Woo!
And I put a
Congratulations,
lot
man.
more. Yeah, awesome. Honestly, like prior to this, I probably had about a week. Like this is not exaggeration. 7 to 10 days of clean time since I was 19. So it's great. Unfortunately for the meme page, though, I got my stuff together and the page has been up like 8 years and the algorithm hates me. So I'm like pumping out fire, but nobody sees it. But I don't even care because it's fun for me. So yeah, follow the page and then shout out my kid who's I'm going to make listen to this later. So shout at him, shout out my boo. And yeah, I got nothing to plug.
All right, man.
Page and,
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Sarge, you got anything you want to say before we sign off?
No. You know, the coloring book's still out there, but I mean, at this point, it's just perpetuating a miserable cycle. Might make another one about the Epstein files.
There you go.
We'll see.
All right.
Other than that, you can find me on the interwebs. If you just Google Sarge the Destroyer, you'll find one of my social medias because no one else is dumb enough to use Sarge the Destroyer as their fucking name on the internet.
Is that it? We good? Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we're
I
good.
love
We're good.
I love it.
All right.
An embarrassing joke that became my internet personality.
Yeah. All right. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow us at Cryptid Cocktail. Follow us TikTok, Cryptid Cocktail Party. We got a Patreon. There's a couple tiers. You can choose to give us money. Yeah, I think with that. So, John, normally Sarge says goodbye and I love you to the audience, but would you like to do the honors of saying goodbye and I love you to the audience?
I'll say goodbye, but I don't know who the fuck I'm talking to. I'm not going to say I love you. I only say that to like 2 people in my life. So
All right.
Sarge can handle that.
All right, Sarge, you want to say
I love you, and I want to put my fingers in your mouth.
God damn it. All right.
Oh, I could have said that. I